Raw Q&A in the works. So I've got a couple questions here from actually a while back when I did a Q&A request video. And this is what we have. So sorry, I'll back up, half my head's chopped off. Also, ignore this. I tried to kill a fly and I broke the shade. So it's just gonna stay like that until I decide to fix it, which is probably never. So question one, do you have any tips for someone who is just starting to regularly work out? Is there any exercise or body part to start concentrating on? I would say the first thing is just to get used to exercise. If you're coming from, no background in exercise other than like what you did in like high school or something like that, like jogging for 1 minute and then playing kickball, I would start off with something simple, doing push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and things like that, body weight movements. And then you can get into, I would say after like a few weeks, then you can start incorporating weight training. The biggest thing is you want to build a base, because the first few years of your training is the most critical. It's when you're going to make the most progress, and that's when you're going to fall in love with it. I mean, a lot of people do fizzle out, especially if you're not seeing progress. So the biggest thing is actually creating a program. Once you learn about exercise, you learn how to execute those exercises properly with proper form, putting your ego aside, because when you first start, you see guys like me deadlifting like 580 pounds or 600 pounds, and you expect, like, when you start, oh, I'm gonna be able to do 400 pounds, and it's not like that. Most people, they call them the benchmark weights, and that is like a 225 bench press, like 315 squat, and like a 405 deadlift. That's generally how it is. I mean, everybody has their own kind of basis for it, but that's something that you should work towards. And like, obviously there are people who are capable of reaching those in a year's time, which is awesome, but not everybody can do that. There's a lot of things that play into it: work ethic, genetics, your schedule. If you're really stressed all the time, that's going to impact your training, your recovery time, your diet. So I mean, there's a lot that factors into it. So what I would say is start off with like calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, things like that, and gradually work into weight training after a few weeks, maybe a month, and then start off with compound movements. Don't focus on doing all this crazy shit you see on YouTube. Just focus on the basics. Work on the bench press, work on the squat, work on the deadlift with proper form. If you need help with this, I'm more than happy to help. I can make instructional videos if you want. It's kind of hard with the way my gym's set up now, because it is so busy all the time. It's not like the old YMCA I used to train at. I could just record whenever. But I'd be more than happy to help. I could always email. It's not quite as good, but I could figure something out to help you out if you need. There's tons of stuff. There's tons of resources all over the internet if you need to find something. I'm sure Tiger Fitness has some good. TigerFitness.com has some good articles and videos. I'm sure bodybuilding.com, YouTube in general. There are certain people I would trust, and a lot of people that I would not trust. But yeah, just focus on those, and then add in some like accessory movements for like triceps and biceps. And one thing to remember is, depending on the size of the body part is how you should adjust your volume. So for example, many people will train like 20 sets for biceps, right? They'll do like five exercises and do 4 sets for each, and then they'll do a decent amount for chest. And then when it comes to legs, they'll do like leg extensions for like 3 sets, and then they'll do leg press for like 3 sets. Well, the legs are half your body, so you should be pounding the shit out of your legs, pounding the shit out of your back, doing a decent amount of work for your chest, and then your shoulders and your arms really don't need that much work. Same with abs. If you're going to do ab training, I would focus on kind of functional ab training, in the sense of like ab rollouts or weighted ab crunches, like on a cable machine where you put it above your head and you crunch down with it. If you're feeling it in the muscle ultimately, and that's another thing, is you want mind-muscle connection. That is established over, I would say, years. It took me probably 2 years before I truly understood mind-muscle connection, but it's just focusing on each rep of every set, and you'll see results. And another thing is, diet is extremely important. I could make a million videos about nutrition, as I already have. I'm sure you can find them in my older videos from like 2013, 2014. But nutrition plays a part, because if you're not eating enough, like if you're not eating an ample amount of calories in total, and if you're not eating enough protein, you're not going to grow. It's the bottom line. So I would recommend 0.8 to 1.0 grams per kilogram of body weight, or yeah, or just 1 pound per body, 1 gram per pound of body weight is fine. So if you're 150 pounds, eat 150 grams of protein. That's a decent starting point. Any exercise or body part, yeah. And then as far as like a workout split, I would just say start off doing like 3 days a week. No need to go every day. You know, even now I don't go every day. And I've been training, I'm going on year 9 in a few months. That's crazy to think about. But yeah, just start off simple. Don't burn yourself out. I would do like upper body, lower body, and then upper body again. Or if you want to break it up, you could do like chest and back. You could do like a leg day, and then you could do like arms and shoulders or something like that once you start getting into training. And then eventually you could build a routine based on weak points, strong points, things like that. Or if you want to work on like a percentage-based program. I do write programs also, small plug, but yeah, I mean, it's highly individual. Just stick with it. Just get started and stick with it, and you'll see progress. Question 2, what's the longest you've gone without working out due to sickness or a holiday or whatever, and what was the effect it had on your body and your motivation? Man, I would say prior to this year, the longest I took off was about a week. But based on like the last 8 months, because I've been extremely busy, I took about, honestly, there was a period where I worked out twice in a month. So that's the longest, and it was bad. And then there was like another, I would say probably the next month I worked out like once the entire month. I just had a lot going on as far as school, and I'm focusing all my time on basically my girlfriend and working a shit ton, and then trying to save as much money as possible, because shortly thereafter is when I moved to Long Island. So yeah, what effect did it have on my body? It had a drastic toll on my body. I started eating like shit, so I was losing hella mass. I wasn't training, so I lost a lot of strength. It was just, it was bad, and like everybody could tell. So I mean, that happened over the course of months. So I mean, it's not like it was like if you take a week off, it's not gonna really have that much of an impact. You might lose a little bit of fullness, but it's not, that comes back immediately, you know. And as far as my motivation, it destroyed my motivation, because I was just wondering, like, what's the point of even going to the gym anymore? You know, I was like, life is so much easier. I have so much more free time. I don't have to worry about dieting. I don't have to worry about how much protein I'm taking in. I could just eat whatever. You know, I could have a milkshake with like Burger King. It was freaking awesome. But at the same time, my motivation to go to the gym was awful until I got back in. I started seeing results again. I started feeling better. And that's the biggest thing about training for me, and why I'll never sacrifice fitness for anything. Because I notice on the days that I don't work out, it's a little bit different now because you do need rest days. But if I take like 2 days off in a row, I start to feel like shit. You know, you almost feel kind of like lethargic. You feel eager to get back in the gym, but it's like, I don't know, it's different. So if you can help it, go to the gym. Like, I've always trained like every holiday. I've trained like every Christmas for the last like 5 years. I've trained on Thanksgiving for the last like 5 years, you know. I train on birthdays. I usually work on birthdays as well. So that's such a fun birthday, right? Going to the gym for an hour and a half, and then going to work for 9 hours. But that's life. That's adulthood. I guess those are the 2 questions that I had for this. I don't want to make this video too long. If you have any other questions, be sure to just email me. I was going to say drop a comment down below, but sometimes it gets lost in the thread, and sometimes I don't see it because for some reason the notifications are kind of strange on YouTube now. So drop me an email at jdayfitness@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.